A new left-of-centre party is on the horizon in the United Kingdom. Media reports suggest that former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn will join Zarah Sultana, who has resigned the Labour whip, at the head of the unnamed political group. The move reflects the growing volatility and polarisation of British politics, and widespread disappointment with the Labour Party's programme for government. After 1 year in power, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has disappointed many of those who voted for change, in last year's landslide election defeat of the Tories. So, will the new party break the mould of British politics and rival the Greens and the Labour Party, as the progressive choice for voters? Here are the factors that will surely define the new party's future. The British media has been a servant of capital for centuries. It will deploy all of its force to revile Jeremy Corbyn as a supporter of terrorism and an enemy of Jewish people. The strategy worked well enough to help dethrone Corbyn as Labour leader. It will be revived once again, should Corbyn mania sweep the country, to reclaim the cities, the young, urban professionals, and Britain's non-white communities. Corbyn is still the face of righteous activism in the United Kingdom, but at 76 years old, can he still connect with voters? Can he update his message for Brexit Britain? It is far from certain that the appeal of left-wing politics extends beyond the cities. Britons should be proud of their relative fair-mindedness, but how will the new party appeal to voters in the shires, and in the regions, who may not wholly share the metropolitan sympathy for identity politics and communitarianism? Crucially, the new party will need to produce convincing answers to the scourges of deindustrialization and tax evasion. What will be its offer to unemployed workers in the former industrial heartlands, who want change and hope in equal measure? The media will eviscerate anything that sounds like class war, wealth redistribution, big government and tax and spend economics. Can a left-wing party bring business to the table and hammer out policies that would revive industries and generate jobs, whilst also remaining true to commitments to delay the coming climate catastrophe? The multi-culti colors of the new party will have wide appeal, but a racial coalition will do nothing to stop opposition politicians and the media from pointing to young black men and Muslims in particular as unassimilable. Modern politics is as much about crime and security as it is about government choices. Former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair understood this political truth and countered the right-wing backlash with his tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime mantra. Can Corbyn and company find a similar slogan that cuts through with older voters and the undecided? Britain's changing demography is already having an impact on the country's politics. In some constituencies, events in Kashmir and Gaza appear to matter as much as the provision of local services. The new party will certainly revel in its anti-poverty, anti-racism, anti-sexism and pro-LGBTIQ agenda. But how will white voters, who remain the majority beyond the big cities, respond to the emphasis on equality and inclusion? They have learned to see fairness as code for the free ride of undeserving minorities. After decades of racist dog whistles, can white voters be persuaded to support a party that talks about the fight against injustice as much as it discusses jobs, schools and health care? Right-wing parties have ready answers to the nation's problems. Tax rises, permanent austerity, the collapse of welfare services, the emergence of the police and surveillance state, are all too conveniently blamed on migrants and the browning of Britain, rather than the half-truths, lies and kleptocracy of British elites and their political puppets. In short, can white voters, reared on ethno-nationalist promises from canny political chancers, let go of their fear of change? Are they ready to accept that racism is the pandemic of democratic politics, which leaves them complicit in the wars without end, against non-whites around the world? Are they ready for the vaccine of racial peace and reconciliation? Can they see a true meritocracy and the project of living together as better than the status quo of fear, rage and despair?